Alrighty, so this is my family, and my sister left to right, me, my sister, cousins, me getting ready to go off on the train, the northbound Silver Meteor from Winter Park to New York. It's a very long journey, all in the effort to get to Montana. These are buddies of mine in the lounge car. And this is a bridge on the way north. That's my seatmate. His name is Bruce from Philly. He's kind of a mountain man. Some bridges on the way up. A pigeon inside Penn Station, New York. That was pretty interesting. I also like to take some photos of steam engines and old trains as we pass them. There are definitely plenty of those on the route. This is a freight yard. I want to say it was in Philly. Yeah, this is definitely Philadelphia. And this is Chicago White Sox Stadium. As we were pulling in, this was very cool. See where they play all the major sporting venues. That was a cool thing. All the things you could see from the train. This is the Willis Tower, aka the Sears Tower. Up top, you can see the ledges, plexiglass ledges. A view from the street. One of the canals in Chicago. This is Adams Street Bridge, I believe. Another view of the Sears Willis Tower. Main entrance to Chicago's Union Station. It was a very nice station. This is Jamie Lynn, somebody that I'd met from St. Paul on her way back to Chicago. Or actually, yeah, she was on her way to Chicago. That's a picture of an old Great Northern Railway steam locomotive that had been retired years ago. Open farmhouse. I like to take a lot of pictures of the terrain and whatnot as I had traveled through. Some very interesting landmarks and patterns. Terra BNSF sign on the side of a building. This is one of the Amtrak stations in Havre, Montana. In the background, you can see my three buddies, Jared, Odie, and Jay, from left to right. Actually, Jared is left. Actually, Jared's in the center, Odie's left, Jay's right. This is the West Glacier Amtrak station, which is really more of a gift shop than a train station. There's no Amtrak personnel available. This is me getting ready to eat some breakfast the night I got dropped off. A view of West Glacier from Highway 2, a sign for entrance to the park. This is the Flathead River from the Flathead River Bridge crossing into Glacier National Park from West Glacier. The Flathead has some excellent rafting available throughout most of the year. Me standing in front of the Glacier National Park sign. The west entrance. Sign for bear country. There's a lot of wildlife out there while I was there. There were 33 grizzly bears that were sighted in the area of my itinerary alone. McDonald Creek is at the foot, this particular portion anyways, at the foot of Lake McDonald. And that's where I gathered my first supply of water. That's a picture of the mountains from across the lake. This is looking west to east. My first backcountry campsite was on the west shore of Lake McDonald. And the trek to it, I believe, was 13 miles the first day from the train station. Maybe a little bit further. And I stayed there overnight. I didn't have any problems encountering wildlife or anything like that. It was relatively low-key. Very beautiful scenery. 3 trees holding each other up, a larger one, a middle-sized one, and a smaller one. I think the smaller one was bearing most of the weight. This is myself at the campsite. I believe I'd just gotten the fire going. That was a challenge within itself. Very big challenge. This is my campsite, my tent, my MSR tent. It's a quality tent. I've got to get somebody to help me to look at it though. Nightfall. This is the head of Lake McDonald, top McDonald Creek, I guess you could say. I decided on the second day that I wanted to change my itinerary and not venture any further into the backcountry. for fear of running into some sort of a large animal like a grizzly bear. I didn't want to do that. So what I did was I made a loop around Lake McDonald, and the second day I hiked maybe 20 miles or so back to the Apgar village, maybe 23 miles. And Apgar village, this is a view from Spread Creek Campground, where I had called Amtrak to reschedule my train. A view from going to the Sun Road. Apgar Village was the only campground open at this point that offered primitive camping on going to the Sun Road, as close to it as I was. This is my feet after hiking for roughly 38 miles in 2 days. They've already got huge blisters. Me sitting at the train station waiting after showing up last night, the night before. And as it turns out, my train was extremely late. It was 7 hours late coming into the station due to derailment in Seattle. John Deere tractors on the train car. I thought that was pretty neat, just because I'm a John Deere fan. The sign that said Huckleberry Pie across the street was teasing me the whole time, because everything in the city of West Glacier was shut down for the season. The only things that were open were the post office and the gift shop / train stop. Lots of freight that go through there. There's probably a train every 5 to 10 minutes of all hours of the day. This is a picture of a car that had the professor character from The Simpsons painted on the side of it. It was pretty neat. And yeah, you can see it right here very clearly. It's very awesome. It was very well done on the side of a BNSF rail car. I think Matt Groening would be proud. This is the guy that was in charge of the gift shop. He showed up at 8:15 promptly every morning, opened the door. All they sold were gift cards and postcards and things like that. This is a view from Mariah's Pass, going around the southern edge of the national park. It's very beautiful. This is a view from Cut Bank, one of the largest trestles in the whole system. More of Montana, lots of open spaces. At the end of the trip, I got into the habit of taking pictures of the names of the towns on the rail stations as we were going by, which is pretty neat. Lots of different towns that it went through. This is one of the wind farms that we passed out in the Great Plains. It's good to see people using renewable energy. Lots of those giant turbines. Shelby, Montana. Actually, that must be North Dakota, I believe. This is me getting ready to sleep for the night on the train on the way home. This is a picture of Fargo, North Dakota. The train station at Fargo. Made me think of the movie. They had a pretty nice station. This is me on the train again, heading eastbound, returning home after Glacier. Detroit Lakes, obviously Detroit, Michigan. In that general area. A tobacconist shop. We don't have shops dedicated strictly to tobacco all over the place down here like they do up there. The Land O'Lakes Feeds Company, which is a huge national distributor of feeds. I thought this was interesting. A Burger King and an Ace Hardware sign were on the same pedestal. Staples, North Dakota. North Dakota and Montana, by the way, are very big states. It takes a while to get across them. Lots of agriculture and farm. St. Cloud, Minnesota. One of the scrap yards that they used to stash old rail parts. I thought that was pretty interesting. Lots of wheels and trucks, things like that. made me think to myself how much raw steel we have, and iron that just sits around and gathers rust. These were a couple of satellite relays. Alright, in the back, left to right, is Susan, Al, and myself in the front. Old Milwaukee rail car. Thought that was pretty neat. St. Paul, Minneapolis coming up. Here's a picture of the Mississippi River in that particular area. It was pretty neat. Lots of rivers and trestles and bridges. It was beautiful countryside. More open spaces. More open spaces. One of the beautiful lakes that you can see from the Empire Builder during the day. This is as we're getting closer towards Chicago. It's a barge going up the Mississippi, I believe it still is. Lots of trees and timber floating around the river. It's pretty interesting. Another one of the dams. Each one of those dams had a lock system, by the way, which used to lower and raise the ships that they can actually make man-made use out of these rivers, which I guess are normally pretty shallow. Cliff face that you can see. The cliff faces and the differences in the dirt are pretty neat. La Crosse, Wisconsin. That's actually the birthplace of the sport lacrosse. Toma, Wisconsin. Wisconsin Dells, Wisconsin. This is a view from Chicago, the top of the Willis Tower. Very, very beautiful scenery. You can see the entire city from up there. This is another